Imagine a truth so profound it has been whispered through the ages by mystics, philosophers, and the most successful minds in history. This is not just a concept of personal growth. It is a fundamental, immutable law of the universe, a spiritual mechanism given to us by God for creation itself. I discovered this secret not in complex theories, but in the simple, powerful teachings of masters like Bob Proctor, teachings that bridge the gap between human desire and divine potential. What if the feeling of lack, the recurring frustration, or the struggle to reach your goals was simply a miscommunication with the source of all abundance? The key lies not in effort alone, but in alignment. Alignment of your thoughts, your feelings, and your core faith with the infinite abundance that is your birthright. It is about understanding that your mind is not a mere biological organ. It is a magnificent spiritual instrument designed to tune into heaven's frequency. When I first grasped the idea that my recurring thoughts created a powerful magnetic vibration, everything changed. I realized that I had been inadvertently broadcasting signals of scarcity and doubt, only to receive a mirrored reality. The moment I chose to pivot, to intentionally hold thoughts of divine grace and unwavering faith, the world outside began to rearrange itself to match my inner transformation. This shift is available to every single person who commits to the work of spiritual mastery. We are not talking about wishful thinking. We are discussing faith in action, the kind of faith that Bob Proctor described as an unshakable knowing, a certainty that transcends physical evidence. It is the spiritual confidence that what you ask for, when aligned with universal good, is already on its way. If this message is resonating deep within your spirit right now, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Divine Soul. Your engagement helps this essential message of spiritual law and abundance reach others who need this clarity. This creative power is inherent within you, because you are a creation of God. Therefore, the very ability to create is a divine inheritance. The law of attraction, when viewed through a spiritual lens, is simply God's consistent method for manifesting thought into form. It is a promise that you will reap what you sow, not just in action, but first and foremost in thought and vibration. The process starts with consciously choosing the seeds you plant in the garden of your mind. Are they seeds of worry and limitation? Or are they seeds of boundless opportunity and divine provision? Every day is a fresh opportunity to recalibrate your internal frequency, to choose to operate from a divine mindset, a mindset that knows there is no lack in the source. This journey is deeply personal and incredibly liberating. It takes you out of the frantic struggle of the external world and places you firmly in the quiet, creative power of your inner world. It teaches you that resistance is futile, and surrender to the flow of God's abundance is the only way forward. Your entire being must vibrate at the level of the good you seek. Stay with me now, because over the next few segments, I will reveal the precise steps, the spiritual mechanics, to move from mere wishing to absolute divine alignment. I will show you how to harness the creative power of thought and transform your circumstances forever. If you've ever had one moment where you felt an unshakable connection to God, and life felt effortless and abundant, I want you to tell me in the comments below, what was the one single moment that changed your life's vibration forever? The foundation of true manifestation lies in recognizing that the mind is the only instrument through which the divine expresses creation in the material world. Bob Proctor constantly reminded us that we must become aware of what we are thinking, not just what we are doing. The physical world is merely the effect, the mind is the cause, and the substance of that cause is spiritual. This realization is the first step in activating the law of attraction consciously, moving beyond chance occurrences to deliberate, faith-filled creation. When we speak of the mind, we are not speaking of the brain, but of a field of energy, a reservoir of consciousness that connects directly to the source of all power and all things. This connection is constant, but our awareness of it, and our alignment with it, is what determines our reality. The concept of vibration is central to understanding how the mind operates within the context of divine law. Every thought, every feeling, every dominant belief emits a measurable frequency. Just as a radio tunes into a specific station, your life circumstances are simply the external manifestation of the frequency you are currently holding. When your thoughts are rooted in fear, lack, or doubt, you are vibrating at a low frequency, attracting more experiences that match that feeling. Conversely, when your mind is saturated with faith, gratitude, and the certain knowledge of God's abundance, your vibration elevates to heaven's frequency, making you a magnetic match for success and prosperity. This is the mechanism by which the law of attraction is enforced by the universe. My personal transformation began when I stopped trying to change my circumstances and started working on the energy of my dominant thought. I had to internalize the truth that my struggles were not a reflection of my worthiness, but a perfect reflection of my low vibrational thought patterns. When I understood that my thoughts had frequency, I could no longer afford the luxury of negative thinking. It became a spiritual discipline to guard the gateway of my mind. I shifted my focus entirely to the immutable laws of the universe, recognizing that they are rooted in the unwavering nature of God. The mind is the antenna of the soul, and if the antenna is bent with doubt, the signal of abundance cannot be clearly received. This link to divine law and scripture is undeniable. The principle of, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he," is the most ancient statement of the law of attraction. It establishes the direct causative link between internal thought and external reality. God's law is perfect and operates without bias. If you choose to hold thoughts of lack, the law of attraction, being impartial, will manifest lack. If you hold thoughts of abundance with unwavering faith, the law will manifest abundance. The system is always on, and it always works. Our responsibility is not to manipulate the system, but to align our own consciousness with the creative, abundant consciousness of the source. The foundational principle Bob Proctor emphasized is that everything is energy. Your body, your desk, the air you breathe, and especially your thoughts, are all composed of this dynamic, moving energy. When we understand this, we realize that by simply changing the energy of our thought, we are changing the energy of our physical environment. This makes the mind not just a passive recipient of information, but an active, continuous spiritual generator. This realization moved me from a state of passive belief to a state of spiritual knowing. It transformed my faith from an intellectual idea to a powerful creative force. Therefore, the spiritual mindset foundation requires commitment to a constant state of elevated awareness. It asks the rhetorical question, what if every thought was a prayer in motion? If you treated every fleeting idea as a direct command to the universe, you would be impeccably selective about what you allow to reside in your mind. This is where true spiritual discipline lies. It is the practice of replacing fear with faith, doubt with certainty, and scarcity with gratitude for the abundance that is already present in the spiritual realm. The connection between mind and faith is not merely philosophical, it is operational. Faith is the fuel that elevates the thought signal. Without faith, that spiritual certainty, the thought remains a mere wish, a faint, weak vibration that struggles to attract its equivalent form. Faith is the knowing that transcends logic, the conviction that God's promise is already fulfilled. It is the feeling of abundance before the abundance arrives. This feeling state is the high frequency that unlocks the creative power within the mind. Our ultimate aim is to achieve divine alignment where our human mind is harmoniously synchronized with the divine mind. This state of congruence means our desires are no longer selfish or small, but are in perfect flow with God's perfect plan for our life. When this alignment is achieved, manifestation becomes effortless, a natural result of being in the spiritual flow. This is the highest level of operation within the law of attraction, operating from a place of certain, loving, and boundless faith vibration. The crucial shift in understanding is realizing that the law of attraction operates through faith as a direct conduit, not as a passive cosmic preference. Faith, in this context, is the spiritual element that moves the thought from the non-physical realm of ideas into the physical realm of experience. It is the unshakable certainty that what you have declared through your mind is already in the process of manifestation, because God's law cannot be broken. This shifts the process from merely hoping things will work out to spiritual knowing that they have already been fulfilled. This is the difference between a weak desire and a powerful, energetic command. When your mind is working in harmony with the divine mind, you operate from a higher level of consciousness where the creative power of thought is instantaneous. This is a move from intellectual belief, which is subject to doubt and external circumstance, to a firm, internal knowing that is self-validating and rooted in the eternal. This certainty is what elevates your vibration to the precise level required to attract the desired outcome. You are no longer observing your reality, you are consciously participating in its creation. This active engagement is the defining characteristic of a divine mindset. The spoken word, far from being just noise, is a powerful amplifier of this internal vibration. Our words are sounds that carry energetic frequencies. When a thought is imbued with faith and then spoken, it is sent out with a specific, intense vibrational charge. The universe, being a responsive medium, acts upon this energy. This means we must be impeccably careful about the declarations we make over our lives. Speaking doubt and limitation is the fastest way to manifest them. Speaking abundance, health, and grace is to activate the spiritual flow of God's provision. The mandatory phrase encapsulates this dynamic perfectly. Faith is not passive. Faith is the vibration that calls miracles into form. This is the secret of true spiritual creation. You are not waiting for a miracle to happen to you. You are generating the vibrational frequency that attracts the miracle through you. This is the realization that your power is not separate from God's power. It is an extension of the source, making you a conscious co-creator in your reality. The act of true faith is the ability to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This feeling is not an emotion generated by external events, but a deep, settled spiritual feeling of certainty. This high-level emotional state raises your faith vibration, ensuring that every cell in your body is resonating at the frequency of abundance. When you can consistently hold this feeling, you have effectively completed the creation process on the mental and spiritual planes, and the physical manifestation is merely a matter of time and the unfolding of the law. This is why Bob Proctor emphasized the use of an ideal scene, or visualization. It is not just about seeing a picture, it is about immersing your entire being in the vibration of that picture. When you visualize with unwavering faith, you are not just dreaming. You are using the divine mechanism of the imagination, which is the link between your mind and the infinite intelligence. You are sending a precise, sustained signal that the law of attraction must obey. This is how you move from merely attracting good things to living in a state of divine abundance. Furthermore, operating from the divine mind in action requires the complete dismissal of fear. Fear is the polar opposite of faith. It is a low, constricting frequency that shuts down the spiritual flow. When fear enters the mind, it immediately begins to dismantle the creative signal you have sent. To maintain divine alignment, you must actively replace any thought of fear with a thought of absolute faith in God's perfect plan and provision. This is a moment-by-moment practice of mental discipline. Ultimately, the law of attraction, when used with conscious faith, becomes a tool for spiritual mastery. It teaches you that your power is internal, not external. By aligning your mind with the source, you stop struggling against life and start flowing with life. You become a powerful, conscious channel for good, demonstrating the truth that God's law is always working, and your primary responsibility is to maintain the highest possible vibration of love and certain faith. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this shift in vibration and the power of aligning faith with divine law. I call her Michael, a man who possessed immense talent but was perpetually blocked by financial struggle and self-doubt. Michael ran a small, mission-driven business, but despite his best efforts, he could never break past a certain income ceiling. His mental struggle was constant. He would try to be positive, but deep down, the feeling of not enough dominated his subconscious mind. Michael's inner narrative was toxic. Whenever he made a little progress, his ingrained belief in scarcity would surface, causing him to sabotage his own success. He was unknowingly vibrating at the frequency of lack. He would often pray to God for help, but his prayers were requests for rescue, not declarations of faith. His mind was fixed on the problem, not on the divine abundance that God promised. His entire being was out of alignment with the law of attraction. The revelation came during a period of intense study and reflection on Bob Proctor's teachings. Michael realized that he viewed his desires as separate from God's will, as if he had to convince the divine to be generous. This was the core misunderstanding. He realized that God is the source of all abundance, and his own limiting thought was the only thing interrupting the spiritual flow. The blessing was not outside waiting to come in, it was inside waiting to be expressed. This was the profound moment of the shift in vibration. Michael stopped begging and started declaring. He didn't just affirm wealth, he immersed himself in the feeling of being a generous, prosperous man, living in service to others. He started thanking God daily, not for what he hoped to receive, but for the abundance that was already his in the non-physical realm. He changed his inner state from frantic striving to quiet, absolute spiritual knowing. He intentionally held the high faith vibration. Within 3 months, everything changed. A project he had been working on for years, which had been repeatedly rejected, suddenly received major unexpected funding. A new, powerful connection appeared seemingly out of nowhere, bringing a wave of new clients who were perfectly aligned with his mission. These were not minor changes. They were catalytic shifts that rearranged his entire business structure and personal life. His income tripled in 6 months, and his business soared into a state of divine alignment. Michael looked back and saw clearly that his fortune hadn't changed because he suddenly worked harder. He had been working hard for years. His fortune changed because his internal frequency changed. He moved from the vibration of a victim to the vibration of a conscious co-creator. He stopped resisting the law and started flowing with it, fully trusting in the infinite supply of the source. He finally experienced the truth that our thoughts have creative power. This is why I emphasize the mandatory phrase for his story. It wasn't luck. It was alignment, faith meeting divine law. The external blessing was the physical evidence of his internal, spiritual congruence. His faith did not just sit in his heart. It became an active frequency that magnetically drew the equivalent circumstances to him. His transformation demonstrates that the power of thought, when energized by unwavering faith, is irresistible to the law of attraction. Michael's journey proves that your current circumstances do not determine your destiny. They are only the residue of past, lower vibrational thinking. You have the inherent spiritual power to activate the divine mind in action right now. By committing to a consistent high faith vibration, you immediately begin to write a new, abundant reality for yourself, anchored in the certainty of God's limitless provision. To sustain the high faith vibration that Michael discovered, we must move beyond passive acceptance into active, powerful declaration. Your words are the architects of your physical reality, shaping the energy field around you. Bob Proctor taught that the affirmation is not just a phrase, it is a spiritual command that must be spoken with emotion and deep, absolute knowing. We must impress the feeling of the fulfillment upon the subconscious mind, ensuring that our thoughts have the correct frequency. These declarations are designed to instantly shift your consciousness into divine alignment with the source. They are affirmations of being, not wishing. When you speak these words, you must feel the truth of them moving through your spirit, resonating in every cell of your being. This feeling state is the spiritual engine that drives the law of attraction. We are moving from a human perspective of need to a divine perspective of possession. This is the difference between struggling and effortlessly attracting. Feel the words move through your spirit now. Stand up, breathe deep, and let these sacred truths become your new dominant vibration. I am one with the divine energy of abundance. I know that Source is infinite, and because I am connected to Source, my supply is also infinite. My every need is met and exceeded with grace and ease. I am a magnet for wealth and opportunities to serve. I attract only what aligns with God's perfect plan for me. My life is in spiritual flow, guided by the highest wisdom. I release all fear and doubt, knowing that the divine intelligence is orchestrating perfect circumstances for my greatest good. I move forward with certainty and trust. I think, I believe, and I receive through faith. My thought is the seed of creation. My belief is the nutrient-rich soil, and my faith is the sun that guarantees the harvest. I speak only life, I believe only good, and I receive only abundance. I am an active creator. I vibrate at the frequency of heaven's success. My consciousness is a mind of light, free from the bondage of past limitations. I am a living expression of prosperity and well-being. My faith is unwavering, and my vibration is consistently high, attracting only harmonious people and circumstances. I am constantly aligned with Source, and my creative power is boundless. God's will for me is total, overflowing abundance in every area of my life, spiritually, mentally, and financially. I activate this truth now and receive the manifestation with deep gratitude. These statements must be treated as spiritual facts. Do not analyze them. Declare them. Every time you speak them, you are reinforcing the high faith vibration and solidifying your divine mindset. This is the practical work of aligning your human will with the divine will. It is a constant, conscious effort to maintain the high frequency necessary for the law of attraction to deliver its perfect results. This practice is the spiritual equivalent of tuning your antenna to the strongest signal possible. When you commit to these declarations of vibration, you eliminate the internal resistance that prevents abundance from reaching you. You stop the energetic leak of doubt and fear, and you begin to hold a powerful, continuous signal of divine abundance. This constant declaration is the most effective way to ensure your creative power of thought is always focused in the direction of your highest good. Now, as you integrate these declarations into your daily life, the results will speak for themselves. The universe must respond to this elevated frequency. Tell me, as you read these out loud, which declaration instantly raised your vibration and made you feel the most powerful shift? Share the one declaration that resonated deepest with your spirit in the comments below. The ultimate aim of all spiritual study and application of the law of attraction is to achieve a state of effortless divine alignment. This is the point where thought, feeling, and faith merge seamlessly with the infinite power of the source. It is the synthesis of everything Bob Proctor taught, that the mind is the spiritual connection point, and the law is the mechanism of delivery. We are moving from the fragmented human perception of struggle to the holistic, divine certainty of creation. The divine alignment formula brings together the three essential components of manifestation into an unbreakably powerful triad. If any one of these elements is weak, the manifestation is delayed or distorted. The power of this formula lies in its simplicity and its direct connection to immutable spiritual law. It ensures that your creative power of thought is not wasted on fleeting desires, but is energized by a sustained, high-faith vibration. Let us dissect the formula, beginning with the thought. Your thought is the initiating energy. It is the unmanifest idea, the original blueprint for creation. It must be clear, emotionally charged, and held with great discipline. Without a clear thought, the universe receives a chaotic signal. This clear thought then must be infused with the second element, faith. Faith is the conviction that the thought is already a reality. It is the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the essential component that moves the thought from possibility to certainty. Think of it this way. Your mind is the engine, but faith is the ignition key that starts the engine. The resulting output of this combination is a high frequency or vibration. This continuous, powerful signal is what attracts the equivalent circumstances. The final, all-encompassing component is God, the source. God is not a distributor of abundance. God is the abundance itself. The source is the infinite, boundless supply from which all things flow. We do not attract from a finite source. We attract from the infinite source. This understanding allows us to fully grasp the final mandatory phrase, which is the cornerstone of the divine alignment formula. God is the source. Faith is the frequency. Thought is the signal. This is a spiritual metaphor for a complete circuit. The source provides the energy. The signal, thought, draws a specific design, and the frequency, faith, makes the connection between the thought and the source instantaneous and perfect. This is the spiritual flow in continuous motion. To enter this spiritual flow, we must consciously surrender doubt and declare our spiritual readiness. This is where the devotional aspect comes in. It is a prayer of alignment, not of pleading. It is the statement, Lord, I open my mind and align with your abundance. This simple act of surrender is actually the greatest act of power, as it shifts the responsibility for the how from your limited human mind to the infinite intelligence of the divine mind. It guarantees that your desires are in congruence with the highest good. This formula provides the highest level of operation within the law of attraction. It ensures that the law is used not for selfish gain alone, but as a vehicle for expressing the abundance and perfection of God in the material world. When your thought is pure, your faith is certain, and your mind is aligned with the source, the flow of prosperity is inevitable and unstoppable. You become a living, breathing testament to divine law. The final expression of the formula is this concise truth, a tool to be used daily for spiritual focusing. Thought is the blueprint, faith is the electric current, and God is the infinite supply. Use this triad to check your alignment daily, ensuring your creation is anchored in the most powerful, certain, and abundant spiritual reality. Today we have laid the sacred foundation for creation, moving beyond surface-level techniques into the profound spiritual core of the law of attraction. We have recognized that your mind is a spiritual instrument, your thoughts are sacred energy, and your faith is the highest possible frequency you can hold. You are not meant to struggle. You are meant to effortlessly operate in spiritual flow, demonstrating the perfection and abundance of God's plan for your life. The invitation I extend to you now is a spiritual invitation to fully embrace this truth. Today, I invite you to raise your vibration and align your faith with God's frequency. Stop holding on to the scarcity of your past and step into the boundless potential of your present moment. The power to create is not coming to you tomorrow. It is here, now, waiting for you to activate it with unwavering faith. The contrast is stark, and the choice is yours. Stop doubting your divine potential. Stop accepting conditions that do not reflect God's perfect love and provision for you. Start speaking your truth with faith. Start declaring your abundance with spiritual certainty. When you change your internal frequency, the external world must change to match it. This is the divine law in action. Do not let this powerful information simply be something you watched. Make it a declaration. Make it an act of commitment. I want you to anchor this truth in your reality right now. Go to the comments and perform your final act of divine alignment for today. Your comment is a spiritual contract, a powerful affirmation of your new reality. Write this in the comments. My mind aligns with God, and I receive infinite abundance. This is not just a comment. It's your spiritual declaration of alignment. It is your final command to the universe. Use this sacred energy to solidify your shift in consciousness. We have only just begun this journey into the deepest spiritual principles of abundance. The path to divine mindset requires continuous commitment, raising your faith vibration day after day. If the message and the energy of this video truly resonated with your spirit, if you felt a shift, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Divine Soul. Your support helps this essential light reach every soul seeking true creation. Thank you for engaging with the source today. Thank you for making the decision to align your thoughts with God's perfection. Your journey to limitless prosperity and peace is already unfolding. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will reveal the single greatest manifestation block that Bob Proctor tried to warn us about. It is the one thing that instantly cuts off the spiritual flow and keeps abundance at bay. You won't want to miss it. Remember this sacred ultimate truth, because when your mind aligns with faith, heaven aligns with you.